Good morning, students. In the last class, we had discussed the first chapter of the novel The English Teacher. See how Krishna was searching for a new house, which was facing towards the south. Next, his anxiety and tension, it is paid by one of his students. And lastly, he knew that he could get the house in the Sarayu street. And after going there, he talked to the owner. He got the house. The owner of the house expected 25 rupees to reach him on 5th of every month. Lastly, Krishna shifted his all the things from the hostel and shifted to a new house. Hereafter, the first chapter completed. ನೋಡಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ತಂದೆಯವರು ಹಾಗೂ ತನ್ನ ಫಾದರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾ ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಹೊಸ ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರು ತನ್ನ ಹೊಸ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಹೊಸ ಮನೆಯ ಮಾಲೀಕನು 25 ರೂಪೀಸ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರು ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನೋಡಿ. ವಾಟ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಟೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಸ್. The next 3 days, Krishna keeps himself busy in placing the materials in right order and place. He arranges books and papers neatly. The house is swept and clean. His mother arrives with a sack full of vessels. She too lends her hand in making up the house for him. Kitchen and store are arranged and rearranged. See, what does this lines tell us over here? Nodi, the next 3 days, Krishna kept himself so busy where he kept in placing the materials in the right order. He arranged his books, his papers, he swept the house, he cleaned the house. Next, his mother, she brought a sack full of vessels. Sack means goni chila. So, sack full of vessels. Next, she to help her son in searching the house. See, they both started cleaning, sweeping, etc. etc. They did all the household chores over here. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 3 ಡೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯುಸಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಎಲ್ಲ ತನ್ನ ಮನೆಯ ಸಾಮಾನುಗಳನ್ನು ರೈಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಎಲ್ಲ ತನ್ನ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಪೇಪರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಟಾಗಿಟ್ಟು, ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಗೂಡಿಸಿ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅವರ ತಾಯಿಯು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಗೋಣಿ ಚೀಲು ತುಂಬ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವೆಸಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ತನ್ನ ಸಾಮಾನುಗಳನ್ನು ತಂದಳು. ನಂತರ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿಯು ಕೂಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಕಿಚನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆರ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್. ಶಿ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ಲಿ ಟಾಕ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಹೌಸ್. See, keeping philosophically. There was cool breeze. Krishna feels immensely satisfied with his house selection. He thinks his wife would actually like it. His mother says the kitchen was a bit narrow. Krishna says we cannot have everything away in a rented house. See what happens as they arrange and rearrange the things in the house. Next, she proudly talked of a house. How? Keeping it in a philosophical way. Now see, look at the environment. There was a cool breeze. Krishna was feeling very happy and satisfied with his house selection. He was thinking as he had thought, as per his wish, he had got a rented house. Next he thought his wife, Sushila, really should be very happy. Then his mother said, little bit the kitchen was narrow. Then Krishna answered to his mother. He told her that whatever we wish in our way, we are not going to get the rented house. ನೋಡಿ, ತಾಯಿ ಮಗನು ಸೇರಿ ಮನೆಯನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟರು. ನಂತರ ಇಂಪಾದ ಗಾಳಿ ಬೀಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಎಂಥ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಮನೆಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಮನೆ ಎನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆ ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ನಂತರ ಇದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಹೆಂಡತಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವಿಚಾರಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಪಡುವಳು ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು. ನಂತರ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿಯವರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಿಚನ್ ರೂಮ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗುತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಎನ್ನುವ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ನಮ್ಮ ಇಷ್ಟದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾವುದೇ ವಸ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇದು ರೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಹೌಸ್. ಸೊ ರೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಹೌಸಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬೇಡುವ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ತನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೀಸ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಅ ಬಿಗ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್. She further tells how his father was growing impatient. Any kind of noise disturbed him. Unless he went out to field, she was unable to clean the house. Usually, first she cleaned the house, then she took bath and did puja. Housekeeping was a grand affair for Krishna's mother. She derived a great satisfaction from running a well ordered household. See, now in this, what does we come to know? Next, she said, if we take a big house, really it's very difficult for us to keep it in a clean way. Then she tells how his father, day by day, he was growing impatient. What was his condition? He didn't like any kind of noise. See, unless he went to the field, she was not able to clean the house. Next, afterwards, when he goes to the field, she used to clean the house. She used to take the bath, do it puja, and all works. Housekeeping really, it was a grand affair for Krishna's mother. Next, she derived a great satisfaction. What? Just she derived what? ನೋಡಿ derived ಅಂದರೆ ಪಡೆಯಲಾಗಿದೆ. Just ಇಲ್ಲಿ she derived a great satisfaction, comfort, peace of mind, delight from running a well ordered household. Now next, see, Sushila. She was the last daughter of her family. Come, let us know about his wife Sushila. How was she? What kind of lady she was? See, she was the last daughter of her family. She was greatly petted by her parents. In her house, she spent of her time in reading, knitting, embroidering, or looking after a garden. She was well trained in housekeeping by Krishna's mother. She had picked up finer points in cooking and household economy. See, actually, Sushila, she was the last daughter of her family, loving daughter, caring daughter. She was greatly looked after by her parents. Parents, they gave her a lot of love in her house. See, when she was along with her parents, she spent most of the time how in knitting, in doing the embroidering work, looking after the garden. Really, she was well trained in the housekeeping by Krishna's mother. Next, see, in her house along with her parents when she was leaving, she was very well spending her time in knitting, embroidering, and looking after the garden. But hereafter, when she came over here to Krishna's house, she was well trained by her mother in law, that is, by Krishna's mother. She had picked up finer points in cooking and household economy. Really, Krishna's mother had taught a lot to her daughter in law. Sushila ನೋಡಿ ತನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಂದಿರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊನೆಯ ಮಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಳು. ಸೊ ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಮಗಳು. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಅವರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಂದಿರ ಆಕೆಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದರು. ಅವಳು ತನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯವರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಕಳೆಯುತ್ತಿದ್ದಳು. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ನೀಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ನೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೆಣಿಗೆ, ಎಂಬ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ರಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಆಗೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹೀಗೆ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ಕಳೆಯುತ್ತಿದ್ದಳು. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿಯವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಂಭಾಳಿಸುವ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಲಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟರು. Krishna's mother says she felt like kicking the girls who did not know homekeeping. She detested her elder daughter-in-law. She was daughter of a retired high court judge. Because of the strife between them, she said she would never accept a girl from a high court judge family, even with 10,000 rupee dowry. In her opinion, Sushila was a modest girl. She was not obstinate. She had learned how to conduct herself before guests. See, actually, what happens? Krishna's mother, she felt nowadays the girls, see, she felt nowadays the girls who are spending simply the time doesn't like, who did not know homekeeping work, who did not know homekeeping. She hated them. She detested them. Then hereafter, why she was hating, why she was detesting the girls? Because they doesn't know the homekeeping work, even though she detested her elder daughter-in-law. Actually, her elder daughter-in-law, she was a daughter of a high court judge. Because of the strife, because of this strife, because of these quarrels, she said she would never accept a girl from a high court family, high court judge family. Even though they are ready to pay 10,000 dowry, I'm not going to accept such a girl. In her opinion, according to Krishna's mother, Sushila, Krishna's wife, she was a modest girl. She was a simple girl. Modest ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಧಾರಣ. She was not obstinate. She was not stubborn over here. Means hatamari Allah. She was obstinate. She had learned how to conduct herself before guests. See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರ ತಾಯಿಯವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವಾಗಿನ ಹುಡುಗಿಯರಿಗೆ ಮನೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಗೊತ್ತೇನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇವಾಗಿನ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅವಳು ಹೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಳು. ಅದೇ ನೋಡಿ ಅವಳ ಹಿರಿಯ ಡಾಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾ, ಅವರ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸೊಸೆ ಒಂದು ರಿಟೈರ್ಡ್ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಗಳು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅವರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಕಲಹವಿತ್ತು. ಇಂಥ ಹುಡುಗಿಯರನ್ನು ಅವರು ನನಗೆ 10,000 ಡೌರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ತನ್ನ ಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಸುಶೀಲಳಿಗೆ ಅವಳು ತುಂಬ ನೋಡಿ ಸಾಧಾರಣವಾದ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಸುಶೀಲಾ, ಅವಳು ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಳು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಅವಳು ಹಠಮಾರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಯ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವಚ್ಛವಾಗಿ ತನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ತಾನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದಳು. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಆನ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರೈಡೇ Krishna goes to Malgudi railway station to receive his wife and child. He thinks Sushila might come with lot of luggage. He might not get enough time to transfer the luggage from train to the platform. He becomes very anxious. Sushila had 4 trunks of saris. He says, women never understand the importance of traveling light. See, on the following Friday, now that day came when Sushila, he is coming to her husband's house. She is coming to Malgudi. On the following Friday, she is coming. Krishna he has gone to Malgudi railway station. For what purpose? To receive his wife and child. Next, he thinks Sushila might come along with a lot of luggage, and he might not get enough time to take the luggage down. He becomes very anxious. He was very worried over here how to take down the luggage if she brings a lot of luggage. Sushila was having 4 trunks of saris, and these women, they never understand the importance of traveling lightly, he says to himself. Really, he was very happy that day came when he was going to lead his life along with his wife and his child. ನೋಡಿ, ಆ ದಿನದಂದು ಫ್ರೈಡೇದಂದು ಇವಾಗ ದಿನ ಬಂದಾಯಿತು. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಬರುವ ದಿನ ಫ್ರೈಡೇ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರು ಮಾಲ್ಗುಡಿ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ತನ್ನ ಮಗು ಹಾಗೂ ತನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿಯನ್ನು ತರಲು. ನಂತರ ನೋಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಮೇ ಬಿ ತುಂಬ ಲಗೇಜನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತುಕೊಂಡು ಬರಬಹುದು ಎನ್ನುವ ಭಾವನೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರದಾಗಿದೆ. 4 ಟ್ರಂಕ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ 4 ಟ್ರಂಕ್ ಸಾರಿಗಳನ್ನೇ ತಂಬಿ ತಂದರೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಟಾಗಿ ಬರೋದು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರ ವಿಚಾರ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಒರಿಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸಾಮಾನನ್ನು ಆಕೆ ಹೊತ್ತು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು ಎನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ. ದ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ದರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ 10 minutes. Now see, the train came, the train arrived. Now Krishna, see, he ran away to take his wife. Only the train was standing there for 10 minutes. He wished the train would stop a little longer. He meets coolie number 5 and tells him that his wife was arriving that day with her infant. He wished they traveled second class, but his father-in-law disliked the extravagance of traveling. Second coolie, the coolie tells to Krishna not to have needless anxiety. Next he said, the train stopped over there. Just hardly for 10 minutes the train is going to stand there. Now the Krishna wished, oh, hardly 10 minutes time is there. Within this 10 minutes I have to take down the luggage down, my wife, my child, everything. He wished at least the train could stop a little longer. Then he met coolie number 5. He told him that his wife is arriving along with the infant, along with his child. He wished they traveled in second class. And his father-in-law, he disliked the extravagance of traveling second. He told the coolie. Then the coolie tells to Krishna, just you need not worry over here. Just you have a needless anxiety. Simply you are worrying. Everything will be all right. The coolie told him. ನೋಡಿ, ಕೇವಲ ಟ್ರೈನಲ್ಲಿ 10 ನಿಮಿಷಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಲ್ಲುವ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನಿಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಕೇವಲ 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸೋ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ನಿಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ, ನನ್ನ ಲಗೇಜ್, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ, ಮಗು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನಾನು ಸರಳವಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಕೂಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ 5 ಮೀಟಾಗಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಮಗು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕೂಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರಿಗೆ, ನೀವೇನು ವರಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಆತಂಕ ಬೇಡ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಳವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಸರಿಪಡಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾರೆ. Next see, the train arrives. Krishna hurries through the crowd, peering into the compartments. He sees his father-in-law struggling to get to the doorway. He finds Sushila sitting serenely in her seat with a baby lying on her lap. He asks for the baby from Sushila. She says she would carry the baby. She tells him to get the boxes out. Next, he tells her to mind the door and baby. Her father helps her, and she's safely down on the platform now. See, the train arrived. Krishna is hurrying now through the crowd. For what purpose? To take his wife and child down. He is peering. Peering means peep out. Iniki nododu. He is peering now into the compartments that where his wife and the child is. He saw his father-in-law. He was struggling to get the doorway. Then he saw how his wife is sitting on her seat along with the baby which were lying on her lap. She had hold a baby. The baby was sleeping on her lap. Then he asked for the baby from Sushila. She said she would carry the baby. First, you take the luggage, you take the boxes out. I will mind the baby. She took the baby, and here Sushila, she came down safely on the platform along with the baby. ಇವಾಗ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರು ತುಂಬ ಗಡಬಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕ್ರೌಡಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೂಕುತ್ತಾ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇಣುಕಿ ನೋಡುತ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಗು ಇದೆ ಎನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಆತುರದಿಂದ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಫಾದರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾ ಕೂಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಲು ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತವಾಗಿ ತನ್ನ ಸೀಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತನ್ನ ಮಗುವನ್ನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ತನ್ನ ಉಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಕುಳಿತುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ನಂತರ ಅವನು ಮಗುವನ್ನು ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಬೇಡ ನೀವು ಲಗೇಜನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಾನು ಮಗುವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಆಕೆ ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತಾಳೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳು ಟ್ರೈನನ್ನು ಇಳಿಯುತ್ತಾಳೆ. ನಂತರ ನೋಡಿ, Krishna gazes on his wife. She looked fresh and beautiful, her hair shining, her dress without a wrinkle on it, her face fresh. She was in a usual indigo-colored silk saree. He tries to fondle the child, but Sushila tells him to help her father to come down. Krishna says the big crowd in the train must have worried her. Sushila says other people must also travel. She did not mind the crowd. Then see, Krishna, as she got down on the platform, Krishna stared on his wife. He gazes on his wife. She looked towards her. See, and she was looking very beautiful. He looked at her shining hair, her dress. There was not even a single wrinkle on her sari. Her face was looking all fresh over it. And as usual, she had wear the indigo colored silk sari she had wear. He tries to fondle. He tries to caress the child. Then Sushila told to Krishna to help his father to come down. Krishna told to his wife, maybe you may be tired. You must see in this big crowd. You may be worried. Then Sushila said, other people must also travel. No, she did not mind the crowd. No, never mind. I'm not tired over here. I'm not fed up of all this. Well, let other people also get a chance over here to travel. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇಳಿದ ನಂತರ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅವಳ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನೋಡುತ್ತಾನೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಆಕೆ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಮುಖ, ಆಕೆ ಮಿಂಚುತ್ತಿರುವ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂದಲು, ಆಕೆ ಧರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವ ಆ ನೀಲಿ ಕಲರ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಸಾರಿ, ಇಂಡಿಗೋ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀಲಿ ಕಲರ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಸಾರಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ತನ್ನ ಮಗುವನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಡಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಯವರನ್ನು ಕೆಳಗಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ. ನಂತರ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಥ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬಿಗ್ ಕ್ರೌಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನಗೆ ಟಯರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನೀವು ತುಂಬ ವರಿಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದರಲ್ಲೇನಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗಲೇಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ನುವ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಆಕೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇವಾಗ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಟ್ಟು ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ನಿಂದ ಮನೆಯ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಡುತ್ತಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ asks his father-in-law to stay with them, at least for a week, but his father-in-law declines the invitation with profuse thanks. They reach the house in Victoria carriage. Krishna's mother comes down and welcomes Sushila at the gate. See, Krishna asks his father-in-law. Now, Krishna started telling over his father-in-law to stay with them, at least for a week. But Krishna's father, he rejected. He declines the invitation given by his son-in-law Krishna with the profuse thanks. See, with the prolific thanks or profuse thanks. Then they reach the house in the Victoria carriage. They took the Victoria carriage. They reached the house. Now Krishna's mother, she was standing near the house gate. She welcomes them. Sushila and the child at the gate. The threshold. Threshold means the entrance. It was decorated with festoon of green mango leaves and floor and doorway with white flow designs. Krishnananda asked Sushila and the child to stay there where they were. She had a pan of vermilion ready at hand and circled it before the young mother, and child got down from the carriage. Soon the baby vanishes in her granny's embrace. See. Now, as Krishna's father in law was not ready to stay for a week along with them, as he declines the invitation with the profuse thanks, they reach the house. Then, in the Victoria carriage, Krishna's mother eagerly says she was waiting for her daughter in law. Look at the entrance, how it was decorated with a garland of green mango leaves. Look at the floor, the doorway with white flow designs. Then Krishna's mother, she asked Sushila and the child to stay there only. She brought that. She had a pan of vermilion. Then, and circled it before the young mother and the child. And she asked whom? Sushila to get down. Then after she took the baby in her embrace. See, suddenly she put the baby into her arms. Next, what happens? ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಫಾದರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾ ತನ್ನ ಮಾವನವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು 8 ದಿನಗಳವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇದ್ದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ. ಆದರೆ ಅವರ ಫಾದರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬೇಡ, ನಾನು ಇರಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಕೆಲಸವಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ರೀಸನ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ನೋಡಿ ವಿಕ್ಟೋರಿಯಾ ಕ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಹಿಡಿದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರ ತಾಯಿಯು ತುಂಬ ಆತುರತನದಿಂದ ಮನೆಯ ಮುಂದೆ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಗೇಟ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಎಂಟ್ರನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ, ಪ್ರವೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಗೆ ತೋರಣದಿಂದ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಲೀವ್ಸ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾವಿನ ಎಲೆಯ ತೋರಣವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಮನೆಯ ಮುಂದೆ ರಂಗೋಲಿಯನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ತಾಯಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಅವರ ಸೊಸೆ ಸುಶೀಲ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಮಗು ಹಾಗೂ ತಾಯಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಂತುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಆರತಿಯನ್ನು ತಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟವರಿಗೆ ಆರತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ತನ್ನ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಮಗುವನ್ನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾಳೆ, ತನ್ನ ಮಡಿಲಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾಳೆ. Krishna's mother kept the younger mother happy, see, and free to look after the child. A great harmony and understanding was seen between them. All day, Sushila is made to stay in her own room. Krishna's mother provided food and drinks for Sushila and the child. Whenever the child cried at night, Krishna's mother sprang up and rocked the cradle. She stayed there for maximum 2 months and then returned to the village. See, Krishna's mother, she kept the younger mother happy and free to look after the child. See, the household chores, whatever the household work was there, that was done by Krishna's mother. She didn't allow her daughter-in-law Sushila, her daughter-in-law Sushila, Krishna's wife, to do the work. She told her to look after the child. A great harmony and understanding was there in between Krishna's mother and Sushila. All the day, Sushila is made to stay in her room, look after the child, and Krishna's mother, she provided the food, drinks for Sushila and the child, everything, whatever they were in need. Whenever the child used to cry at night, then Krishna's mother suddenly she sprang up and she went and rocked the cradle. See, she moved quickly and rocked the cradle, and at least for 2 months she stayed along with Krishna and Sushila. Then she returned to the village. ನೋಡಿ, ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರ ತಾಯಿಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಸೊಸೆಯನ್ನು ಸುಶೀಲಾಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಗುವಿನ ಆರೈಕೆಯ ಒಳ ಕೆಲಸ ಎನ್ನುವ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಎಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಎಂಥ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗಿಂದ ಇಂಥ ಜೀವನ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಫುಲ್ ಡೇ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ತನ್ನ ರೂಮಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ಲು ತನ್ನ ಮಗುವಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಅವರಿಗೇನು ಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಸುಸಜ್ಜಿತವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರ ತಾಯಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು, ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಸುಶೀಲಾಳಿಗೆ. ಮಗು ರಾತ್ರಿಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅತ್ತರೆ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ತೊಟ್ಟಿಲವನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿ ತೂಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದಳು. ಹೀಗೆ 2 ತಿಂಗಳವರೆಗೆ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ 2 ತಿಂಗಳವರೆಗೆ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಆ ಮಗುವಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರ ತಾಯಿಯು ಕಳೆದರು. ನಂತರ 2 ತಿಂಗಳ ನಂತರ ಅವರು ತನ್ನ ವಿಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಮರಳಿ ಹೋದರು. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್. Krishna left the college at 4:30 and reached home in 10 minutes, avoiding all interruptions. He saw his wife Sushila tinkering at her little garden in the compound and the child toddling about picking pebbles and mud. See, now Krishna, he left the college at 4:30 and next he came back home in 10 minutes, avoiding all the disturbances. He came and looked after his wife. What Sushila was doing? She was tinkering. She was expressive at her little garden in the compound. The child was toddling and picking the pebbles and mud. It was not in Sushila's nature to be demonstrative. See, just ಇಲ್ಲಿ Krishna left the college at 4:30. He reached home, looked after his wife, what work she was doing. She was tinkering the garden. Next, looked after the child. The child was picking pebbles and mud. Next, see, soon his daughter came there and hugged his knees. The child, it came and it hugged his Krishna's knees. She took his books and kept on the table. Then Sushila, she took the books from Krishna's hand and she kept on the table. The sight of Krishna putting his head under a tap of wash thrilled her. He always tried to keep her off water. He saw the daughter and wife looking radiant in the evening with their hair dressed, beflowered, faces elegantly powdered. See. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರು 4:30ಗೆ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮುಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ 10 ನಿಮಿಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಡಚಣೆವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ನೋಡುತ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅವರ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಹೌ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಟಿಂಕರಿಂಗ್. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸೋದು. ಟಿಂಕರಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸೋದು. ಹೇಗೆ ಅವಳು ತನ್ನ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಸರಿಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರು. ಆ ಮಗು ಹೇಗೆ ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆಟವಾಡುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಹೇಗೆ ಅವರ ಹೆಂಡತಿಯ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಂತರ ಮಗು ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರ ತಂದೆಯ ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಹಗ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ನಂತರ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಒಂದು ತರಹದ ಖುಷಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಮಗುವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ. ಎಂಥ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾದ ಜೀವನ, ಸಂತೋಷವಾದ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಅವರು ಸಾಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Sushila prepared coffee for Krishna and gave him. She kept a few silver images of gods and covered them with flowers. She lit 2 small lamps before them every morning, uttered some magical words with closed eyes. In the evening, Sushila gave some delicacy or tidbit to Krishna, avoiding the child. He ate them with relish to please her and her handiwork. Next, see, she went inside, made a cup of coffee for her husband. She offered him coffee. Next, you can see how she had kept a few silver images of God. She used to do the puja. She had covered them with flowers, those silver images. 2 lamps, small lamps, she had lit, and every morning she used to utter some magical words, closing her eyes. In the evening, we can see how Sushila gave some delicacy or tidbits to Krishna, avoiding the child. He ate them with relish to please her and her handiwork. See, what is the duty of a wife? She's doing that after coming down, taking the books, preparing a cup of coffee, giving him some tiffin over here, and how she was doing the puja, how she was doing all her household chores over here in a neat manner. ನೋಡಿ, ಕೃಷ್ಣನವರು ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ 1 ಕಪ್ ಕಾಫಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಹೇಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಇಮೇಜಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿಯ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳಿವೆ ದೇವರದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೂವಿನಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಆ ದೇವರುಗಳನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಹಚ್ಚಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ನಂತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ದೇವರ ಸ್ಮೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಅವಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸಂಜೆ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ತನ್ನ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ನ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮಗುವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಬದಿಗಿಟ್ಟು ತನ್ನ ಗಂಡನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಆರೈಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ನ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕೆ ಹಿಂದುಳಿಯುತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸಂತೋಷವಾದ ಜೀವನ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹಾಗೂ ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಅವರು ನಡೆಸುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So hereafter I'll complete this half chapter. I have completed. The next class remaining chapter I'll discuss. Okay, thank you students.